Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Dana Banana. Today I'm going to be doing an update on all of the, or most of the foundations that I've reviewed like within the past few months, because I review them. Normally I do a wear test on them and then that's it. I might mention them in a couple other videos if I really fall in love with it, but I don't really keep you updated because I'm constantly buying new makeup, and so I might like a foundation and then a week later I get a new one that I fall in love with, and then I kind of forget about that one. So, or at least I kind of forget to film with it. So today I'm going to be updating you on all of those foundations, and also if you just want to know about one, like if you have one that you're curious about, like my overall review, then I am going to leave a comment with the timestamps down below for each foundation, so you can easily just click on that one that you want to see and it'll bring you right to it. So without me talking your heads off, let's get right into this. So first I'm going to mention the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation. I did a review and wear test on this. It got a pretty good review from me. This is a very good, creamy, super creamy stick foundation. Very quick. I do still use this. I still like it. I find that it works better whenever my skin is combination. Like if I do have some, because my skin is pretty much always dry, but sometimes I get those days where I'm pretty oily in my T-zone, and I feel like this works really well with that because it works good on my dry skin and my oily skin. It's just a nice foundation for that. It's really easy to use. There's not much I can say about it. It's not like a holy grail foundation for me, but it is very nice, very inexpensive, and it's super creamy, and a little bit goes a long way with this. So I am able to recommend this one. It might work better for some people than it does for me, but when I do use it, I really do like the way that my makeup looks. It gives like a very flawless finish. Yeah, so this one's a pretty good one. Next is the Covergirl True Blend Matte Made. This one did not get a very good review from me. It wasn't the coverage I was expecting, and it was nothing special for me. Now, I did like the concealer that came with it, or not that came with it, but like the It's Lit concealer that came out the same time as this. I did like that. Now, I used this a few more times because I always do. Even if I don't like it, I like to give products another chance. So I tried it again, and it wasn't as bad. I used it with a brush, so I got a little bit more coverage, and it was pretty decent. I don't ever really recommend this one because it's still, compared to all the foundations that I like, it is nothing special. It's kind of just blah for me. It doesn't really, like, my skin looks okay when I have it on, but it's not like, oh man, my skin looks amazing. It's just kind of like, it's okay, but it's not that great. That's kind of how I feel about this one. So yeah. Next one is the Hard Candy Look Pro Bare It All Foundation and Concealer Stick. I did this whenever I tried out a bunch of new Hard Candy products. This one, I'm not a fan of. This one was not too great for me. It kind of just like, I don't know. I tried it a couple more times, and like the CoverGirl one, it just wasn't anything special. And I also feel like it makes me a lot more greasy, and I'm not like greasy at all. I have very dry skin, so it was really weird for me, and I just did not like the feel of it. And no matter what concealer and powder I put over it, it just doesn't look that great. And I've used it quite a few times, and it's just a no-go for me. Alright, this one, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, I have not talked about this in a while, and it's been quite a while since my review, But this is such an amazing foundation. The only thing that was off-putting about it was the smell, but once it gets on your face, it's fine. You don't smell it anymore. It's a beautiful foundation. I still wear this. This is my third bottle of this. That's how in love I am with this foundation. I don't know. I've heard that it works well on oily skin as well, so I'm guessing that it works good for both because I have pretty dry skin, and even when my skin was like super dry in the winter, this still looked amazing. The coverage is beautiful. It's matte, but it's not like too mattifying. It's just a beautiful foundation. I still can't believe, like, Wet n Wild is like killing it right now. I feel like almost everything they come out with I end up being a fan of. So yeah, I recommend this one. Next is the Maybelline Superstay Foundation Stick. Oh, this one upsets me because I do not want to talk bad about it because it's such a good foundation. I'll just pair these up. I just like the Maybelline Superstay liquid one. This one I am a huge fan of. This is like one of my holy grail drugstore foundations. So freaking beautiful, and it's something that I would wear for like special events and stuff like that. It just wears for a really long time. It never gets cakey, never sets into creases. It's just really nice. Oh, I love this stuff. It blends out so beautifully. I just love everything about this foundation. The undertones in it work really well for my skin as well, and the shade range could be worked on, but other than that, it's just, I love this foundation. So back to this one. I like this formula just as much as this one. I used this for an entire week because I did not want to use anything else. That's like how obsessed I was with it. It's just flawless. Like, my skin looked amazing, and I feel like this one was really good for my dry skin. I don't know what it was about this. Honestly, I can't really remember, because after a week I was done with it. Like, this is after, I don't even think, like, I literally wore it every day for a week and then it was done. Like, there's still some in there that I could probably like scrape out, but like the plastic is already up, and like I couldn't really do this on my face anymore. So that is why I can't recommend this one, because the amount of product, I'm sure you've seen a million other YouTubers talk about it, that there's hardly any product in here and it's just not worth it. But the regular Superstay foundation, bomb. Highly recommend this one. Now for my oily skinned girls, I recently did this one, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop. I love this foundation. Now, the only downside is that I do have to use my Milk Hydrating Oil before I use this, because I do feel like if I have dry spots, it kind of clings to them. But it is a beautiful full coverage foundation, and even if you're slightly oily, I feel like it would just work beautifully on your skin. It blends so easily. It's so creamy and just like, so satisfying to put on. They have an amazing shade range, I believe 45 shades. Now, it does slightly oxidize, so if you do get this, I would go about a shade lighter. Just kind of test it out. It's just, that's the only bad thing about it, but it's really, because this was, whenever I was a little more tan, it was my perfect match, but then throughout the day, it kind of oxidized a little bit and just got a little slightly like too yellow on my skin. So that's the only downside of this, but other than that, it's such a beautiful foundation. I highly recommend this one as well. Like I said, if you have dry skin, just make sure you moisturize really well before you use the foundation. But other than that, like, that's not a big deal to me. I can do that, especially if it's a good foundation, and it's worth it. It is, I promise. Moisturize away and enjoy this because it's super, super nice. Okay, 2 more left. This one is the Physicians Formula the Healthy Foundation. Oh! Love this foundation. It got a good review from me, and I've used it quite a bit. I feel like there's a lot I can say about this foundation. This is more of a light coverage, but it's not super light. It's evens out your skin tone so beautifully, and if you put some powder on top you can get even more coverage, and it's just so nice looking. And it's so light, it doesn't feel heavy at all. I normally wear it like when I'm having when I'm not doing like crazy eye makeup and I just want that like flawless natural look. This is the foundation I reach for. It's just, and I love that it's a stick. I don't know, I love that. It's just so beautiful. And not only is it beautiful and it photographs really well, but also, okay, because it says brightening complex, so I guess it's like a brightening foundation, which I can definitely see that. I feel like I look a little slightly more luminous whenever I wear this. Also about this, I don't know if it's just in my head, but I feel like it does something for my skin. Like, I feel like whenever at the end of a long day, whenever I take it off, before I even wash my face, do all that, I feel like my skin just looks like kind of glowy, just like, I don't know, kind of luminous, and my skin always feels amazing. Like, sometimes I'm like, man, I don't even want to wash my face, because like after I take this off, I feel like I've had like a brightening serum on all day. I don't know. Oh, I love this. So if you're looking for some like more of a natural finish but still like gives you that even skin tone and looks really nice on the skin, I highly recommend this. This is so beautiful. Last but not least, the foundation that I have on today. It is the Ulta Beauty HD Full Coverage Liquid Foundation. I know I did not talk about this a lot at all. Like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in, I don't even, maybe it was like new drugstore products, or it wasn't even like a full-on review of this. I just kind of used it in one of my videos and forgot about it. I'm obsessing over it. Remember when I first used this foundation, I liked it, but I don't think I did a wear test or anything like that on it. I just kind of forgot about it, put it back on my shelf of so many freaking foundations and everything, and it gets lost sometimes and I just forget about things, and I'm really sad that I did, because I really like this foundation. The downside is the shade range is really weird. Like, the undertones, it's kind of hard to match yourself, so I would suggest getting them to match you. Now, I know that's not always, like, you can't always trust the people at Ulta to match you, but I would get them to match you just to kind of like get a feel of about where you are on the shade range. That's the only downside to this, but this is a super full coverage foundation. But even though it's full coverage, it does not feel heavy at all. Like the Kat Von D foundation, I used to love that one because it was so full coverage, but it was too heavy for my skin. It just kind of felt miserable, like whenever it was on. Like after a few hours I was like, oh, I can't wait to take this off. But this is not that way. I wore this all day yesterday, and by the end of the day I was still absolutely in love with my foundation, and it still felt like I barely had anything on. The other upside to this is that it's not that expensive. I believe it's like $14, and one pump did this to my face. That's just one pump. That's amazing. So it does a little bit, goes a long way with this, and obviously, and you can build it up if you want more full coverage. I apply it with a beauty blender and it's so stunning. I just love this foundation. You might not like it, you might not think it looks that great on me, but every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my god, I really like the way my skin looks. And I'm mainly talking about this one because I feel like the Ulta brand itself, like Ulta's own brand, is really underrated. They've got some really nice stuff, and not many people talk about it, or not many people that I'm subscribed to talk about it. So I'm not sure if other people in the beauty community talk about Ulta Beauty, like their actual line of products, but I really do like this. It's such a nice foundation. I believe that is all. If you have one if there's one that I reviewed and I'm forgetting and you are curious about it, just comment down below and ask me about it, and I will respond and let you know how it's working for me. But yeah, these are the ones that I've reviewed recently, and I I really like most of them. I honestly do. If you've tried any of these foundations and you love them or hate them, just comment down below and let me know. I would love to hear your opinions on these. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Bye!